Okay, so our next portion of our introduction here to CaraSolva and the training is logging in, and then we'll review the landing page. And so this is the login page. You'll be able to find this by clicking on the CaraSolva icon on the iPads that have come out to the house. This has been preset for all those locations. Otherwise, you could, if you need to search for it and find it on the website, you could search for and what will happen is when you search that, you'll likely, one of the first results you get is this user login. That'll take you to this page here. And so this page is where we will log in and get into CaraSolva. And just like there, CaraSolva is a web-based application, and so you'll just go to, we're just accessing this through a general website. We preload, we are preloading everybody in as their rollouts come up. And so all February rollouts have been put in at this point in time in February, but the March and April rollouts will be put in at a later time. Now, when we're setting people up in CaraSolva, we are presetting your username as to match your Therap username, and so it should be exactly the same. And then everybody's password to start will be welcome1 with a lowercase w. And so if you type in welcome1, that should allow you to log into the system, and it's going to prompt you to make a change to your password to set it as what your permanent password will be. And so you'll have three areas to type in there. The first will be type in the old password, welcome1, and then choose a password that you'd like it to be. And so my recommendation would be to utilize your Therap password if possible, because we utilize it a lot, especially if it already has a number. If your Therap password doesn't have a number in it, which for some people it won't, you'll need to add a number into your password. And then the last thing with the password is it can't have any special characters, so exclamation points, periods, commas, that type of thing. You can't have any of that in there for CaraSolva. So go ahead and type your password in, add a number if you need to. It should be able to proceed to this page. And so this is the landing page for CaraSolva. It works similar to the first page for Therap. And so you'll see a bunch of kind of generalized information right here. And so you'll see that there's some stuff that's coming up here for me. Some of these things have been scheduled and already going. And so I'll do a quick kind of walkthrough on what we're seeing here. And so the first thing I'd like to draw your attention to is over here off to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and expand this a little bit. Just this is what CaraSolva calls the left menu. Now, you'll see up here, there's this back office section. This, don't concern yourself with it. Most individuals will not have this on there as something that they have access to. The thing I'd like to just direct you to is the front office. You will have this. It'll say front office, and then you'll have all the homes that you have access to will be located here, and as well as this training house. CaraSolva doesn't have a test mode similar to Therap, and so we've created a separate house with information, active information in it, to be able to let ourselves go in, play, push buttons, and do our testing and competency from. And so everybody should have this, as well as any locations that they are trained in and able to pass medications at. Some other things to note here on the landing page is up at the top here, you can't see it very well because we're zoomed in a little bit. There's this button here that you'll see my icon on. It says landing page. If at any point in time you're in the system, just like with Therap's first page, you'll have this landing page at the top of the screen. If you click here, you'll be redirected back out to this particular screen. Change password. Second thing they have up here on the top menu is the change password. CaraSolva will require you to change your password every 60 days. And so if you'd like to do this yourself ahead of time, you can do it through this. Otherwise, CaraSolva will prompt you a couple of days before to change the password, and then once the time runs out and you go to log in, it'll make you change the password at that point in time to proceed. One other thing that I want to draw your attention to up in the top menu is the log off button. Something that we cannot do, and I'll reinforce this throughout the videos, is that we cannot hit the red X to close out the window. And so the reason we can't do that is it will lock the system and make it so that other individuals cannot come in and pass medications, document on things that they've provided, that type of stuff, unless you hit the log off button. So red X locks it up and will require somebody to come in and unlock it. Logging off will allow you to be able to get out of the system properly and other individuals can come in. So please make sure you're hitting the log off button. The nice thing with the iPads is they don't have a red X button, so more often than not you'll need to log off to sign out. There is an X button, it's just not as visual. And so my recommendation, make sure that you're hitting the log off button whenever you're exiting CaraSolva. The next things that you'll see here are our notes section. In the notes section, this is where you'll find information that typically our nurses would be including as a team note in therapy. And so they're quick, just letting you know types of things that our nurses are trying to draw your attention to. You'll see the next area here is calendar events. You shouldn't see anything pop up in here. We're not going to utilize the calendar feature. And then later on, you'll see alerts. Now, in here we have a bunch of overdue alerts. These alerts are here because Drexel Court hasn't gone live yet, and so nobody's tracking and documenting on these items. But typically what you'll see here is that if there were things that were late or if there are things that are still pending and need to be given, it'll put this on your front page, helping draw you to that particular event so that you can go in and document and rectify that. To do that, you could click here on the show details and it would take you to an individual's prompt page and you'll be able to document on it. We're going to get into that here in a later video, but this is something to keep an eye on and kind of look for when you come on shift. Some other things, and then just to circle back around a couple of things I forgot with the left menu, you could click on the words here for any one of these houses, and it'll take you to the location summary, which if I click on training house here, this is our summary page. It's going to give me all the individuals that live at training house. And so you can click on this. By clicking on this button, you'll get a picture-based screen that'll show you all the individuals that live here. You could also click on the plus button, which is right next to the name, and it'll give you a drop-down allowing you to go straight to an individual's prompt page. So those are the different features of the landing page. And for logging in, this will conclude our first piece of our training, and our next one is coming shortly.